Welcome, everyone, to the Living Oneness Gathering. I am your host, Sue Dumais. And wow, where do we begin today? We'll begin in the moment here. Take a deep breath because today is a day. This moment is a moment. It's very interesting because this last week has been quite a journey. Well, this last couple months, obviously, this last year for many of you, I don't know if it just kind of flew by for a lot of you, but there was definitely a lot of time warps and like a speeding up of time and then a slowing down of time. So it's been very interesting to play with. As a time weaver, I play with the timelines a lot. I play with time itself and to watch it kind of on its own, because I can usually kind of slow it down or speed it up, but to see it doing that on its own was really quite fascinating. And at the same time, we are reaching that we are standing really at the fork in the road, right here, right now, standing at the fork in the road. You are, and all of us are, at an essential and timely soul choice point. What that means is that in this moment, right here, right now, and every moment that follows, every experience of the moment that follows, we are choosing to be on the new timeline or to stay contaminated or hooked in or stuck in the old timeline, the old frequencies or the new frequencies, the old timeline or the new timeline, the old earth or the new earth, whatever language you want to use. It's all the same thing, but the language is important for the individual. So if my language isn't landing, change it. If I say new earth, say something else in your mind. Just translate it. Create your own translation. Don't let your mind be the obstacle. Don't let words be the obstacle. Don't let your ego create boundaries or resistance because of the language. Okay? That's what's happening on the old earth. That's what's happening on this timeline that has experienced for a long time. We are basically in a stalemate. It's a stagnant stalemate energy. It is not going to shift. So if you're holding out for the old timeline to change, you will be filled with disappointment. And if you're holding out for the old timeline to shift or do something or look somehow different, then you're going to be watching the disillusionment of that timeline and you're going to be on it. The invitation is to shift into the frequencies of the new timeline. The invitation is to shift into a line as best you can in every single moment with the new way of being. And if you don't, you will, there's no real way to say this other than just for me to say it. If you don't align with the new energies and the new frequencies, then those old energies are going to dissolve and be transmuted and no longer exist. Bottom line. What that means is if you stay in touch and connected and hooked in and invested and holding on to the old, you will become part of that old experience and frequency because you won't be able to separate yourself from it. You'll be glued into it and you will be part of it as it dissolves. That's not to scare you. And as it dissolves, it's going to be transmuted into a different energy, into more of a balanced energy. But the reality of what we were seeing, or what some of us, many of us are still seeing, is no longer going to exist. Ultimately, no longer going to exist. In the process of moving to that non-existence, it's going to be transmuted and transfigured. Transfiguration means that it's actually going to change form and shape and not just frequency. We can transmute energy, but this is a transfiguration. This is where the form, let's say if I had a golf ball in my left hand and I have a tennis ball in my right hand, the golf ball will no longer be a golf ball. That energy will be transfigured into something else. It will no longer look like a golf ball. The old earth will no longer look like an earth. This is really hard for the mind to comprehend. And it's been really hard for me to even find words to articulate it. So I'm doing my best to explain it in a way that I can meet you in your humanness and give you the message so that your mind understands just enough to come along for the ride. It doesn't have to understand it fully. It just has to understand it enough to say yes, to come along for the shift. Now, when we are at this soul choice point, I've talked about soul choice points before, but this one is essential. I'll use the word critical because it is a critical decision, a critical choice that you're making. Not just life-changing, but completely altering your existence and reality. And some of you, I see some of you smiling like you're excited, and others are just like, what the heck is she talking about? I've kind of delayed this long enough. I've kind of shared like bits and pieces and dropped little seeds and gave you kind of different scenarios, but I just need to tell it like it is now. Like this is it. This is where we're at. And those that are really close-minded to this are gonna think it's woo-woo and this and that, but this is the reality of what's going on an energetic and frequency level. People that are really invested on the level of form, material and form, aren't going to be able to understand this because they don't understand how energy and frequency works. I've been working with this my whole life. I've been working to this moment my whole life. This is why I'm here. I'm here to be a bridge. I'm here to usher people into the new timeline. This is like my soul divine assignment. Like the main reason I came to this earth. Yeah, I've had all these experiences as a human, but this is, I am so devoted to this. This is my work. I've been working on this, I can say my whole life, but really it's been millions of years. I have a lot of memories. I do have a lot of memories from a lot of timelines, and I've been working on this for millions of years. So the exciting thing for me is that we're finally arriving at this point where I'm like, okay, we get to choose. Now, what will you choose? I want to encourage you to choose the new timeline, but ultimately you need to choose. I can't make you choose. I can encourage you, I can invite you, I can show you and give you a felt experience of what's possible, but your mind's not going to be able to fully comprehend what's possible because it's non-linear. We're going from linear to non-linear. It's really hard for the brain and the human mind to understand that. But this is what's exciting. Now, what will happen to other people that don't choose? People that don't know they have to choose. Some people will just choose by default. They'll just be ushered over because they're in alignment or they're in a frequency close enough or in sync enough that they'll just shift over. That's good news. Someone's asking about the children. What about the children? Children, for the most part, are in alignment with the new frequencies. Many of them will just be ushered over. And those that don't know that they won't, or have a sense, or their soul is kind of choosing not to. On some level, we're choosing consciously. And then for some, we're choosing more in the background on a soul level. And the soul can override what the human is choosing or not choosing. So some people might have just a rude awakening, all of a sudden, like a blast in their face, wake up call that will get them to jump instantly onto the new timeline. So Claire's asking, how do we choose? That's what I'm here to teach you and to guide you through today. We're gonna go through a choice. We're gonna go through and experience that choice. Okay. I'm gonna walk you to the point where you're aware of the fork in the road that you're actually standing on, whether you realize it or not. And on some level, your soul is already choosing, but you need to align with that soul choice. And then everything you do from here on in needs to be aligned with that soul choice. What you eat, what you engage in, what you watch on TV. I'm not saying you can't watch TV. There's programs I watch. I enjoy them. They're lighter. Usually I can navigate them and feel fairly good afterwards. But if you're watching something heavy and dense or something that doesn't have a purpose or message, or it's not for your healing, you're going to feel it. It's going to feel off. There's recently my husband and I will sit down and we're like, okay, let's watch something, watch a movie or something, and I'll start a movie and I'm like, nope, to turn it off. It's like I started, I'm like, nope, can't do that one. I could just feel like it's like sucking the life out of me or trying to like pull me down into a different frequency. Or I get really grumpy or irritated by it and I'm like, I can't watch this. This is too like ugh. Like it's like nails on a chalkboard now. So those kinds of experiences you're going to become more and more aware of. Honor them, witness them, listen to that, lean into those messages. Feel and know that your body is guiding you and your heart is leading you and your soul is dropping all the breadcrumbs for you. So pay attention. All right. Is it possible that we are consciously choosing the new timeline but subconsciously resisting it? Yes, exactly. That can happen. And that's why you consciously keep choosing, keep choosing, keep choosing. Eventually, the subconscious resistance will clear. I did develop a new technique. I can't I can't talk too much about it because it'll just be too much for people's brains. But I've talked about how the ego will be removed or dissolved. Yeah, that's happening. And there's a technique I'm using in private sessions to actually clear it for people. I did it for my husband last night. It was it was very fun. And because he's not aware, he's not aware of energy, he's not spiritual. He follows his heart, but he doesn't call it that. And I asked him if he'd be open to it. I asked him a week ago because he had to prepare for it. And then last night, I'm like, okay, tonight's the night. Are you open to me removing your ego? He's like, I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. It's like, okay. So there's ways that we can clear the resistance, lift it right out of the field. And then other times you'll need to move through the resistance because it's purposeful for you to purposely and intentionally clear any leftover lower frequency energies or resistance in the field, right? I have so much to say. I could go on for hours. This is really exciting for me because for my whole life, so I'm over 50. I have to always calculate how old I am. Anyways, I'm over 50. And for my whole life, this particular one life, this is a birth to death life. I've committed birth to death. Usually I jump in and out of lifetimes. But this one I committed, I'd stay here from birth to death. And in this whole lifetime, I've had so much information and so many visions and so much details and insights that I haven't been able to share because humanity just hasn't been ready to hear most of it. I'm still only sharing 10% of it, but it's exciting to share 10% of it. It's exciting for me to share even 20% of it and to start to really empower you to recognize that there's a whole reality and access. We have access to this whole other realms of reality, other experiences of reality that are going to serve you and move you into a space that is just going to be extraordinary. And this is what's possible for any and all who are willing to come along for the ride. Now, those that don't come along for the ride, I need to say this because people always get feared, afraid, and worried about this. Those that do not choose, those that don't come along for the ride, those that are remaining in the old earth, they will experience a dissolving of their energy and their experience and their reality. and they will shift back into balanced energy source. From there, they can come into the new earth. So this isn't the end of the end of the end for all. This is an opportunity for people to consciously choose, or the choice be made for them. And they'll just take a different path. But ultimately, there's an invitation to come into the new energies and balance and harmonize the energies. Those energies that are not willing to balance and harmonize won't exist in the reality as we will experience it. It's kind of like it'll go into a bit of a quarantine. Okay, that's all I'll say. Because I don't want it to be too much for everybody. All right. Are we ready to jump in and have an experience? And I'll explain soul choice point a little bit more as we go along. And we'll see if we have time for questions at the end, but I know this is going to raise more questions, but really I want you to invite you to go into more of a deeper place of trust. Trust in the unknown, trust that your heart knows, that your soul knows, and that your mind doesn't need to know it all or understand it all. So take some deep breaths, resting your eyes closed. And let's begin with making sure we're not in the left brain, because the left brain is going to try and fill in the gap of the story and the why and the how and all of the other stuff. And then it's going to keep you in a loop or pull you back. And the ego really loves to work on that left side of the brain. So bring your awareness to the right side of your brain, into that present moment, creative side of the brain. You can activate that falx membrane. We've talked about the sail to tail. You can activate that now, lifting through that beautiful membrane, lighting it up between the right and left hemisphere, all the way down the spine and then all the way up the front of your body. And then shifting over to the right side of the brain. From the right side of the brain, dropping down into the center of the heart space. Taking some deep breaths, some heart-centered breaths. And if you feel any anticipation or anxiety or worry or fear, just breathe it into excitement. Breathe it into curiosity and wonderment. You can shift that energy. Don't tie any thoughts or stories to it. See the stories separate out, place them in the left brain loop, that beautiful amusement park over there that the ego loves to use. Let it go. Let the stories go, let the words go, and just bring your awareness to the breath and the feeling of wonderment, of curiosity. You can become aligned with the energy of what's possible. Don't let the anchor of the past or the attachments to your future influence you in this moment. This now moment is all there is, all that matters. Let everything else be placed aside. Breathe. Be present. Use your breath to anchor you here and now. I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. I am here, present in this moment. Now we're going to clear the grounding cord. So for a moment, you're going to have no grounding cord. Just breathe and notice how that feels. There's the old ways of grounding and a new way of grounding. There's the old methods and tools and ideas and stories, and then there's new chapters, new stories, new possibilities available to us. And we're not judging either. We're not judging one is right and one is bad, one is good and one is wrong. That's not it at all. Take some breaths. I want you to be free to move more clearly and more consciously and more purposely to that fork in the road. And I want you to imagine your grounding cord like a string to a kite. And the kite is flowing free in the wind, but the string is tethered to the earth for a moment, but not tethered to the old earth. It's tethered in the center between what was and what's possible. And it's not tethered in the way that it's anchored and we can't release it. We're free to move it in either direction. Take some more deep breaths. For the last many months, the two timelines have been overlapped and blurred together, almost blending together, merging. And what has happened is we can have experiences of one or a glimpse of the other in any one given moment. And that can create a feeling of disorientation, but it can also create a feeling of confusion or contrast. Experiencing the contrast of the density and the heaviness of the old way of being and the lightness and the excitement and anticipation of a new way of being, a levitated feeling or a heavy sinking feeling, an uplifting sensation or being dragged down feeling. So as these two timelines have merged and blended, it has been purposeful for us to feel the contrast of what is and was and what is possible and what we can lean into and what is available to us now. Breathe. Anytime you catch yourself holding your breath, that's fear or anticipation from a place of contraction. I want you to have more anticipation and fascination or wonderment from a place of curiosity without the contraction. That's the invitation, should you choose to accept it. Beautiful. I want you to imagine that as you're standing at that fork in the road, you're light on your feet. There's a lightness beneath your feet. Almost like if you were on a trampoline where you just take a little jump and you could really lift off. Or when you have flying dreams, perhaps you're running on the ground and then you just push off the ground and you could lift off. That's the feeling. That's that levitating light feeling that's possible. So imagine it's possible right now. Imagine that's where you are, standing at the fork in the road, feeling light, levitated, connected to that middle earth. And open to the possibilities. Now, when you're at this soul choice point, there's certain points on our life journey or our soul script that are written into our script that are non-negotiable. They're choice points that we place there for lessons, for learning, for healing, for evolution, to evolve our soul, to evolve through our human experience. The regular choice points, we can go one way or another, but certain soul choice points, we are required, non-negotiable, to choose one path over another. For this particular soul choice point, it really is a blend of your human will and your divine will. It's a combination, a reunion, and an agreement between your soul and your humanness. The two aspects of you that make up who you are. Your soul is an extension of Source. Your humanness is an extension of your soul. We all come from Source, but we are an individual experience or an individuation of Source, expressed as a soul first, and the soul holds all of our records and all of our information, all of our history, and anything and everything we've ever experienced or encountered. Our humanness, we go through a filter of forgetfulness, spiritual amnesia, as we come into being human. But our soul knows. Our soul knows all that it needs to know. And our soul doesn't know everything, but it knows all that we need to know. Within our humanness, we have a limited perspective, a limited vision, a limited remembrance. That's purposeful and has been purposeful up until. That is changing, that is shifting. We will have more of a divine remembrance, and we will remember more and more as it is necessary, as it is serving and purposeful, as it is needed. Take some more deep breaths. This particular soul choice point to shift into the frequency and energy of the new earth, or to stay in the energy of the old, you get to choose on a human level. There is no right path and no wrong path. But I will let you know that if you're listening to this message, your soul is wanting you to really hear and know that this choice is important for you to make. You still get to choose, should you choose, the old way. That will be a powerful life experience, an ending life experience for you. Should you choose the new way, that will be a powerful beginning, an evolution. It's important to remember that neither is right nor wrong. And you have the right to choose either one. In this soul choice point, you get to choose in your humanness, and your soul will align with your choice. It may encourage and invite you to consider the choice you're making, to provide visions or experiences of what's possible should you choose one path over the other. But ultimately, in your humanness, you get to choose. Once you choose, you need to continue to choose to align until everything completes. Until the two timelines unblur, they separate, the one continues and the one changes and ultimately, eventually dissolves. Again, the dissolving is not the end of existence for you or for others, but it is in a way like an end of life. I'm going to be quite honest and frank with you about that because it's important to understand. Not that you need to go sharing this message with everybody, because on some level, everybody's already choosing. And we can't go into the old timeline to try and save everyone, to try and convince everyone. That's not our work. That's not our role. I'm here to invite, to encourage, to experience and show people what's possible, but ultimately they need to choose. And ultimately, for the longest time, I was going between two timelines, ushering back and forth. And now I'm being told I need to stay in the middle. I need to stay as a bridge and remain as a bridge. So all I can do is reach my hand to the old and see who's willing to take my hand and be ushered over to the new. That's my role. That's my divine assignment now. It's shifted. Whatever your divine assignment is, your soul knows. But if you're feeling something here and now, something in your heart brewing, something in your heart awakening, something about me sharing my experience and my divine assignments, and maybe it's igniting something within you, then chances are you're meant to be in the middle or on the new timeline. Not saying all of you that's the case, but chances are. So take some more deep breaths. See yourself at the fork in the road. We're going to give you a glimpse now of the two pathways. So we begin with the pathway that is the new pathway, the new timeline, the new frequencies, the new earth, new human evolution where we're divine humans. Our divinity and our humanness are fully embodied. We are living more from heart consciousness. Imagine yourself walking down that path. And don't think that you know what it will look like or feel like. Be wide open to anything, attached to nothing, and be in a receptive, curious space of wonderment. I wonder what it would feel like. And let yourself feel the energy, feel the emotions, feel the potential of what the new timeline holds for you. And when I tune into the new timeline and I step into it, I'm often shown and I often experience an energy and a frequency that really is hard to articulate. It goes beyond what we can imagine in our minds. So give yourself permission to just even set your mind aside for a moment and really experience it from the level of the heart and even on the physical, emotional, energetic level, less mentally, more on the other levels. Don't question or second guess anything you're feeling, sensing, or experiencing. The potential that the new timeline holds for all of us is purely harmonized, balanced, synchronized experiences in the way of more living with peace, working more symbiotically. And that will occur within our human body experiences. The divine human is very different. So it's a different physical experience. There's a different consciousness that we'll experience. A different array of emotions we'll even be able to tap into. Some that are just so blended and so dramatically different that they're hard to articulate, but you may feel and sense a glimpse of them now. And for the experience of contrast, just notice how it feels different than how you have been experiencing them. Levels of joy that go beyond what you can comprehend, but go beyond what you've experienced, even though many of us have had limited experiences of joy. Expanded experiences of emotions, expanded visions of creation. Enhanced vision and beauty. This is just a glimpse of what's possible in the new timeline, our new way of being in relationship to ourselves and in relationship to each other and all of creation. Fear will be dissolved, ego will be absent. Yes, it's possible to be human without ego, but you'll be a divine human. Now, for some of you, it's an easy choice, but it is important for many of you to experience the contrast of the other choice. So I invite you to come back to the fork in the road for a moment. You don't have to fully unplug or separate from that side you were just connected to. You can remain connected to it and just observe and look toward the other path. What does the other path look like? How does it feel even just to look upon it? For some of you, you might feel like you need to take a couple steps just to check, just to be sure. In the old timeline, there will continue to be density, heaviness, contrast, conflict. And the contrast will become more and more obvious and more intense. On the old timeline, this is where the body will be riddled with challenges, heavier emotions, and it will become harder and harder to hold the high note, to stay in the higher frequencies, because the higher frequencies will be leaving this old timeline as the old timeline eventually fades away. It'll fade out of existence. It'll be transmuted and then transfigured. And those aspects of the energy that are able to be balanced and harmonized will be reunited with Source. And become new seeds of creation, new possibilities, new potential, aligning with the new way, the new earth, the new timeline. So if you've seen enough, you can step away from that pathway and turn back toward the other one. You could stand at the fork in the road, or you could lean into that new one, even step onto that path and make a choice. If you're ready to make a choice now, then you can make that choice. And in every moment that follows, you need to reinforce that choice, because you will be tempted by the old ways. You'll be tempted by the unbalanced energies. You'll be tempted by the habits of the old ways. Don't take the bait. Don't engage in the old ways. Lean into the new. And in every moment that you realize, go within, make that choice again, reinforce that choice. And if you happen to be choosing the old path for now, just know that you have the right to change your mind. You have a right to change at any time, up until the pathways separate again. So what's happened is they were separate, now they've blended, and then they're slowly separating again. They will get to the point where the timelines will separate completely, and there will be no more choice. That was meant to happen a little bit later, but apparently the timeline's been sped up a little bit, where that choice is now. And I can't give you an exact time frame, but it's not far off from now. The two timelines are already separating. And it will get to the point where the last threads will touch. And then once the last threads are no longer touching, there will be no more choice. You will be on the timeline you're on, and you will remain on that timeline. So the more you choose, the more you align, the more you're conscious, aware, the more you will remain on the new one if that's what you choose. So in this moment, I want you to imagine your soul coming down to greet you. Maybe it's coming right straight out of your heart space, because essentially it's within you and all around you. But the vision I'm having right now is it's coming in front of you to greet you. And I want you to meet it, your heart to soul, feeling that connection, that knowing, that feeling of home, that part of you that never leaves and never wavers. It's always there within you and all around you. Your bridge to source, your bridge to divine knowing, one of your channels for guidance and wisdom, insight. Feel it, connect to it. align with it, and then ask your soul, what do I need to know or understand in this moment? What do I need to know, feel, or understand in this moment? Let's bring in feeling here too. Wide open to anything. Message may come in any number of ways. As you receive whatever message you need to, bring it into your heart, bring it into your body. Send the message to your cells and all the spaces in between. Let it resonate through your bones, through your body, through your consciousness, through your awareness, through your energy field. And that message may have come in the way of energy and frequency, or it may have come in the way of words. Receive whatever way it was delivered. And that's the way it was meant to be delivered, or what you needed at this moment. So without judging it, receive it, accept it, welcome it. And with gratitude, just tell your soul, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're willing, you can ask your soul to continue to guide you and lead you in your humanness, to guide you from within your heart, providing breadcrumbs, shining light on the step that's in front of you, leading you to what you need precisely when you need it. Surrendering the mind and what you think you know and what you think you need, and choosing consciously to align with what your soul knows and what your soul knows you need. To unwind the mind, to let go of the old ways, the old habits of being human, the ego ways, the fear-based ways, all of the ways that are embedded in the wounds of separation and division. Aligning with all the new ways that are aligned with oneness, remembrance, connection, community, love, compassion, empathy, peace, peace within and all around. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Empowering you with the energy of yes, a choice, yes, and gratitude. Taking some deep breaths here. Remembering that you can reaffirm that choice, reinforce that choice. And you're not doing it from a place of fear or doubt or worry. You're doing it from a place of conscious choice, aware choice, a choice for love, a choice for peace, a choice for a new way of being in relationship to self and to each other and all of creation. To rise out of the ashes like a beautiful phoenix rising, spreading your wings. And as we shift into this new way of being, there will be some disorientation. The mind will be a little disoriented until it's not. And there will be a new orientation of how to be in relationship with everything and everyone as you step into a new way, breaking the habits of the old way of being human and forming new ways to be in relationship with everything and everyone all together, all at once. As you take some more deep breaths, hold steady in that choice. And imagine that choice is with you. You've embodied that choice. You are aligned and connected deeply to that choice. That new way of being, that new timeline, or whatever timeline you chose. Feel yourself already there. And as it evolves, and as the timelines begin to and continue to separate, you will continue to feel and experience the pure potentiality that the new way of being holds for you and for everyone who chooses to come along. So you take some more deep breaths, slowly open your eyes, inviting that feeling to remain. And you might open your eyes and actually have a different vision. World and the room may be brighter, or it may be a little blurrier if aspects of your surroundings right now are in the old dimension, the old frequency. You might see some things blurry and some things clear. And thank you all for being here and for joining and for participating in this experience. If you feel inspired to share, feel free. You can share in the chat. You can also share by joining in our community board and posting in the community under the post I make for this experience. Or you can reply to the email as well and share. I'd love to hear how this experience was for you. So Sheila, yay, thank you. My message was I have fully chosen and all I need to do is trust and align. Beautiful. Becky, oh yes, please, I'm going to fly. Nice. No question where I'm going. Beautiful. Yeah, there's no question where I'm going. Stephen's like what Sheila said. There we go. We can all agree. Most of us can agree here. And again, if you have a different choice, it's okay. It's totally okay. I love you anyways. I love you always, no matter what you choose. Oh, it was, thank you so much. It was cloudy, rainy, and the room is full of sunshine and gold. I love it. Nice. And then Cheryl message, trust that I do know. I just lost it. Trust that I do know. Listen closer in the quiet. Lovely. Yeah, I'd love to hear some of your messages and what you got. So if you need to repeat this, you can do so, but not from a place of fear or worry or concern. Just if you're guided back to it and it feels purposeful, and it sometimes is purposeful to reinforce your choice. It's a good reminder. It's a good experience to drop into it again so that you can really begin to embody that choice and really feel the shifts and changes that come from making that choice over and over again. This is good news. We can repeat it as often as you need to, as often as you're guided to. Just do it from a place of guided love, not fear. All right. This is exciting. I'm excited for all of us and for you and for me and for humanity, because this is the shift we need. We're moving into the new earth, the way the earth is meant to be, was meant to be. And it's now possible that we can do that. So this is, as much as people always talk about the eternal spiral now, everything's always already happened, it's happening now, it's all happening now. And there's truth to that. But this particular experience is new. We have not collectively gone through this before. This is a really exciting time to be here on this earth at this time. So there's purpose. If you're here, you're listening and you're breathing and you're talking and you're with me, there's a reason. There's a purpose to it. You don't have to go searching and seeking that purpose. Just know that it's purposeful. And if you feel on purpose, that's what's most important. Feel aligned, align with your purpose in the way of feeling on purpose. What it looks like, how it looks. I couldn't have guessed that this is what, on a human level, I couldn't have figured all this out. On a soul level, and I'm connected, very connected to my soul. It's like my soul is, my divinity is animating my humanness. I don't even feel human anymore. I'm just here being divinity, sending a message, providing a message. I couldn't have figured this all out in my humanness. There's no way. One last thing I will share, because I've been talking about the intuition thing that I'm going to be doing. So I finally got clear guidance. It came in really clear and all written out and added. I just literally added the page today. It's called Your Evolving Intuition Experience, because your intuition is evolving. It has evolved. It's going to continue to evolve. So it's your evolving intuition experience. There's a pre-launch special that I'm doing. So I'm just launching it. It's brand new. Never done this before, but I'm going to be teaching all of the ways that intuition has shifted and how to align with your new intuitive pathways and how to evolve along with the way your intuition has already evolved. So I'm going to be teaching some foundational tools that are the evergreen and will forever be evergreen. Some are still going to work for a little while longer. And then there's new ones that are coming in that need to be established and need to be, everybody needs to be learning. So this is like an experience that I'm really excited about sharing. It's kind of an accumulation of everything I've taught and learned over the years of being heart-led and heart conscious, but it's also based on what's coming and what's new and what's possible. So it's really exciting for me to be able to share that so openly to those that are feeling inspired to join. So I will share the link in the replay email. We can also go to my website, heartledliving.com, And under offerings, under the online programs or online courses, you will see it. In the community, you'll also see it. It's 50% off right now. I kept it very reasonable. It's only $111. It's worth way, 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 way more than that. But I really feel it needs to be affordable. And if for whatever reason you feel a financial pinch with that, let me know and we can organize some kind of payment plan for you privately. So just reach out to me privately. But this journey is going to begin soon, so you can jump in, and I will be doing some live Q&A calls with it and helping people personally work with their own intuition. So as a pre-launch special, you coming in at this time is like you're going to have the juicy bits. After that, it's going to be an online program, and you're not going to have access to me in the program. So this part of the program, the pre-launch, is when you will want to jump in if you're feeling that heart yes to evolve and align with your evolving intuition. This is the time. It's very exciting. So I thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all for being so open and so willing to take this journey and to say yes to the path that you're meant to be on now, and for you to continue to align with that new path and that new way of being. I see you. I honor you. I love you. And I'm so grateful. Until next time, love and blessings.